Buenos dias, amigos y amigas. Before the week ended, may magagandang developments po sa kaso, sa case ni relative to the murder of broadcaster and blogger Percy Lapid. Ito po yung inanunsyo ng Department of Justice, and the news tended to show progressive development po. For one, the mastermind and the others involved could face double murder charges. So, ibig sabihin po, double trouble ito sa mastermind. Kasi kung siya nga, if it shall have been proven that the person who ordered the killing of Percy Lapid also happened to order the killing of Middleman number 1, June Villamor. So, double murder na po. And also, now, they no longer consider it as yung natural death, yung kay Villamor. They are already considering it murder with foul play. Ibig sabihin po, sinadya talaga, pinatay talaga siya. Foul play with means that are foul o hindi po tama, o with criminal intent po. So yun po ang anunsyo kahapon ni yung bagong spokesperson ng DOJ na si Attorney Jose Dominic Clavado. So maganda po yun, and we will listen to him, and then alam ko po na some of you already heard, watch this news. Pero ganito naman po tayo sorry po, I've been almost 20 years in the Philippine Daily Inquirer na I always forget not to refer myself as the Inquirer kasi ganun kami noon. Sabi ng Inquirer, ganun. So ganito. Pero hindi ko po ipapakita yung interview niya kasi baka makopyright tayo. So, pero you can listen to the interview, and then we will pause for me to explain to you some details po, kasi yan ang kulang sa mga ibang news network natin.
So yesterday we conducted an investigation on the 4 PDLs that we had transferred from the Middleman prison to the NBI's custody. They were able to give their statements. There was a question and answer portion also, but we formalized it to judicial affidavits already. Last night, around midnight, there was a transfer from the intelligence service of the AFP detention facility. There's one inmate there who's transferred to the NBI custody as well. Around midnight na transfer yun. So today there will be an investigation and question and answer. Hopefully we get the statement as well. Jointly again between the NBI and PNP. As I said yesterday, this is the first time that the PNP and the NBI came together to perform an investigation jointly. So I think we're onto something. This is the story is becoming a bit clearer, but of course, again, we have to be cautious because we don't want to jump into any conclusions. It's very possible that we're also being led, to a certain story, but as a matter of fact, there are other things we have to consider. So the investigation, we have to step back and take a look at the story that we're building up here to make sure that this is really the storyline that we have to go down. We're not closing any other doors, the possibility of other people being involved also. We just have to be very cautious. Kaya I always say, I would rather comment on the substance of the statements and the information being given to us at a later date, because if we give any information now, we might just be jumping into conclusions. Again, we have to be sure na we have an airtight case before we release any information on the substance to media. Dr. Fortune is asking for one more day. So tomorrow we will be releasing the report.
Okay guys, He was referring, maganda ang sinasabi niya, mas may clarity na yung issue. Kumbaga, malinaw na kung sino ba talagang mastermind because they are already pursuing the mastermind. Alam na natin kung sinong killer, alam na natin ang sinong middleman, hindi lang natin alam kung sinong mastermind at nobody made the announcement ba kung sino ba talaga. Andyan ba si Bilibid? Outside ba ng Bilibid? Or anywhere ba sa Pilipinas? Only our authorities can say with certainty. So, the fact yung sinasabi niya na iba-ibang storya, kasi yun nga, meron nga istorya yung surrendered alleged gunman na si Joel Escorial na pointing to Bilibid, and also meron rin istorya na yung sister rin ni Villamor, yung namatay na middleman, na pointing to heads ng 3 gangs na sa Sputnik na yun daw ang nag-order to kill. Pero yun na, galing nga sa opisina daw ang order to kill Villamor. So, all of this, they're putting together and they're very careful about it. If you must remember, sa past vlog natin, sinabi natin, yung pamilya ni Mabasa family na family ni Percy Lapid, walang tiwala po doon sa sister ni Villamor na iniisip nila nanggugulo lang. So, we hope na both the family ng Mabasa family and the DOJ and the PNP are talking about the same mastermind. Kasi kung iba-ibang mastermind nila, medyo iba-ibang storya nila, magkakagulo talaga yan. So, pero let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Tingnan natin. They might resolve it sooner than expected.
That Dr. Fortune will be coming up with. She's just asking for a bit more time to come up with a full report.
Sir, anong dahilan bakit instead si Dr. Fortune, sabi niya, ngayon ay release, but anong pinakadahilan, sir?
I'm not privy to the autopsy report that she's creating. Although I did hear that she wanted to come up with a thorough, at least 6 pages daw yung magiging report niya. So I think she just wants to be thorough. She understands the gravity of the report that she's creating or she's making. So I'm sure that Dr. Raquel Fortune is just being diligent in her work so that she can come up with a report that is complete and thorough.
So tomorrow there's going to be press con 11 a.m. here. Will
Yes.
Dr. Fortune be present to explain the findings?
I believe so, Attorney Mike. I think she will be present at the press con. I think the whole purpose of the press con is to release the report on her autopsy. So I believe she'll be present. I don't think I should be commenting on that. Again, I want to make sure that the story is clear before we release anything. Let's just say this, no? The statements were made and they were all there for one story. So, but like I said also, we're not closing the possibility to other stories being created, and we don't want to jump into conclusions, and we don't want to say that we're sure that this is the only possible story behind the killings. I can't comment on that. I'm so sorry.
Sir, yung kahapon, apat na yung nakuha ng statement dun sa 160 person of interest as per SOP. Pero mayroon na pa bang nalisdag dito, sir? Kung sa apat, yun na yung total. At ngayon pa nagpapatuloy yung pagkuha ng statement na itong mga persons.
There was one more. So, one of the inmates under the custody of the Bucor was transferred from the ESAP facility to the NBI for questioning and investigation.
Ilan na all in all, sir, ang nakuha ng statement dito sa mga persons of interest?
Under the DOJ, there are 4, and then the one that was transferred last night, today makukunan ng statement.
Sir, yung angle ng murder, di ba, sa tingin ng DOJ, masasagot ko sa ikalawang autopsy, sa result mo?
Well, I really don't know what the contents are of the autopsy report of Dr. Raquel Fortune yet, no? But she will be the one to explain her report tomorrow. If ever that finding comes up, then it's up to her to release that.
So Jay, you mentioned yesterday that you're now also looking at the possibility of murder in the case of Middleman. What more can you tell us about that?
I think that's all that we can say. That there is that angle, of course, of murder. The timing of it all, the press con at 10 a.m. and then the death by 2 p.m. is a bit more than just a coincidence. So of course, there is that angle of murder or foul play in the circumstances.
So the basis for that is the coincidence. Have you also already considered the statements made and positive initial results of the autopsy, including what is possibly murder?
I think as far as the statements were made in media, the dying declaration of June Villamor to his sister are also very telling. So dying declaration is you're conscious now of an impending death. So you're aware that something is going to happen to you, and most likely the statements that you release, knowing that, are quite credible because as an attorney Mike, you should know that yung hearsay rule as a general rule is not admissible in court. Hindi mo mapapakita yon, hindi yan admissible sa korte. But when you have a dying declaration, exception yun sa hearsay rule because the law acknowledges that usually pag ganun yung mga circumstances, mas may katotohanan yung mga sinasabi mo pag alam mo na mamamatay ka.
But will that be used in the case of Lapid? Because I understand the dying declaration would compare to the circumstances surrounding your death. But what about the death of another person in this case?
We have yet to see if there's a link there. I can't comment further on that. But let's just put it that way, no, na the dying declaration did lead us to other things. It branched out from there. As of now, hindi pa. And the DOJ is very interested in finding that. We have taken steps also to find other ways to see the contents and to verify the information in those messages exchanged between June Villamor and his sister.
Okay, guys, very important ito. He mentioned the lawyer, the spokesperson ng DOJ mentioned yung dying declaration, and also in the last few days binanggit rin yun ni Secretary Remulla. Ganito yan, if sasabihin mo ako itong pumatay sa akin, and then nagpadala ka ng text, and then hindi ka namatay, or nabuhay ka, ganon, or walang nangyari sa'yo, ganon. So, basically, hearsay lang yung mga ganito. Hindi tatanggapin ng korte yun as evidence. Pero yung alam mo mamatay ka na, and then namatay ka, for example, yung last breath mo na, pagkatapos meron tao pumunta sa'yo, nabaril ka, pagkatapos nakagulantang ka na sa daan, pagkatapos may pumunta sa'yo mga medic na, oh, sir, kumusta? Sir, kwan kayo, you have been shot, gano'n. But then, alam mo, mamatay ka na. So, binanggit mo, ito ang bumaril sa akin, gano'n. So, kahit yung medic, kahit sabihin natin hearsay yun, na narinig lang niya sa'yo, pagkatapos hindi man ikaw nagsabi kasi patay ka na. Pero, ibig sabihin ng dying declaration, so may weight yun, may bigat yun sa laban sa korte. Dahil the same rin itong text na pinadala ni June Villamor sa sister niya na pointing out sino ang papatay sa kanya at kanino nanggaling yung order. So ito yung dying declaration na admissible to court. Although syempre admissible as evidence in court. Although pwede pa rin questionin ng depensa o mga lawyer ng Mastermind na sasabihin hearsay, huwag ipa-admit sa korte dahil at sasabihin mali ang date, hindi totoong cellphone nagpadala, inimbento lang. So marami rin. So tingnan natin yan. Pero yun po ang ibig sabihin ng dying declaration na yun.
There is. As to the substance of that, I can't comment anymore.
Yung contract po, parang pinapaganda.
Okay, apparently yung mga magagandang parts, yun na lang. So, to recap po, ito ang mga developments ngayon. So, pwede harapin yung mastermind, double murder. Kumbaga, pwede malusot siya kay Percy, kasi namatay na si Villamor. Patay na si Villamor. Wala nang direct testimony against sa kanya, kundi pwede rin sabihin hearsay yung kay kung mag-cooperate na yung middleman number 2. So, nasa custody na ng pulis ngayon pero ayaw pa mag-cooperate. So, andyan yung text. And then, andyan pa yung testimony ng iba pang kausap nila ngayon. So, pwede, mas may bigat pa yun sa ebidensya. So, pwede, kung makalusot yung mastermind sa kaso ng pagkapatay kay Percy, pwede bumaksak siya or mahuli siya dito siya o mabitag siya dito sa kaso ni Villamor. So, yun nga, double jeopardy sa kanya yan. So, this is very good. At saka, yun rin, yung death man's statement na gagamitin rin. So, all of this, kasi hindi pa natin masabi guys na aresto, kung ma-aresto nga at hindi lumaban o hindi nag-suicide o hindi tumakas. Maaresto o agaw baril daw ng pulis ng arresting officer. Pwede nakulong siya, nakasuhan siya, pero hindi yan automatic eh. Pwede pa rin, kung magaling yung lawyer niya at may pera siya sa mga magagaling na lawyer, pwede pa rin makalusot siya. Nakita natin yan sa Marcos family. Hindi naman doon na tayo. Marami na tayo mga ibang post dyan. Hindi na ako kailangan mag-explain why. After martial law na after namatay na marami mga human rights groups, human rights leaders and political personalities and media personalities, hindi pa rin nakulong kahit isa. So, hindi natin masabi. Pero for now, these are development. Babantayin po natin and we will explain it to you the best way we can. Again, I'm not a lawyer, pero yun lang po, meron lang po tayo alam sa batas. So, konti. So, thank you very much for watching, and please share this vlog so other people will know what is happening sa case ni Percy Lapid. Tututukan po natin ito because we want justice for Percy Lapid po. We cannot bring him back, but at the very least, his family should get the justice they deserve. So, thank you. Have a happy weekend, everyone, and see you in my next vlog.